just recently, the National Park Service was sued by a coalition of environmental groups, forced an environmental review. And, NPS came up with several draft alternatives, one of which was to remove all of the ranching from Point Reyes and to kind of restore the biodiversity there, as we were talking about. They didn't select alternative F, which would have done that. They took B instead, which gives the ranchers another 20-year extension in the park. Did the National Park Service make the right decision in your view?
Not at all. Not at all. How does that, again, correct the whole problem in the first place? I mean, or not to pick on any one group, but we're talking about the ranchers, right? How they were gifted this extension in the name of what? Have they been the best, like I guess you could say, land stewards? I don't see that. Because there's so many environmental issues that go along with it that they haven't been held accountable. So, no, not at all. That, to me, that was almost the worst thing that could happen.
Alternative B.
Yes, exactly. And so, and the thing that kind of I'm bothered by is the fact that we were not at the table. We were not invited to have a voice. So, again, as indigenous caretakers and having that tribal ecological knowledge, it would make sense for us to be at the table.
And, I want to talk about that, and I want to segue right here to kind of some of the politics of this. And, first off, Great and Rancheria. And just to, kind of establish what that is, maybe you can kind of tell us about that. I know it's kind of a federation where smaller tribes and bands also get federal recognition, and kind of explain Great and Rancheria to us.
Well, I think that, the situation now is because Great and Rancheria is a federally recognized tribe, they have what's called the ability to have a government-to-government relationship with the federal government and the National Park Service. So they're kind of like, the ones that, are going to be called first, and I understand that. But at the same time, we as Coast Miwok descendants, direct descendants, we still are the most likely descendants also. So, but again, the federal government, the National Park Service, they don't understand that, or they're not adhering to that fact. So that's kind of our struggle, and like you said, it is politically challenging for us, right, to kind of be on the same, level of a federally recognized tribe.
And the Great and Rancheria is kind of largely dominated by the Pomo, correct? And is, well, let me just ask it this way. Is Great and Rancheria and Coast Miwok on the same page as far as what should be done with Point Reyes and how it should be managed?
As far as I'm aware of, no. And that's unfortunate because, we're all related.
And so, you say you weren't really given a seat at the table when the management plan was crafted. Are you guys getting a seat at the table with Great and Rancheria?
Not currently, but I would welcome that, that to happen, that opportunity. I welcome that invitation, though, and it would please me, to be honest, because I've had traditional gatherings there at Kuliloklo for the past, dozen years, and I always invited all of our people, all of our relatives, and I wouldn't be one to say, okay, if you're from Great Rancheria, you're not invited. No, right. That's because that's my family. And we we don't treat our relatives that way, you know. So it's disheartening though, you know, that we wouldn't be invited, and so you know, I hope that changes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that we can again, because I believe in, you know, us, you know, coming together and staying united